Welcome everybody here and online to Pitch Day for 500K. Today we're going to hear first from Dan Steele at Listening Post. So Dan, welcome and congrats, and Michael Sherwood. This is Michael Sherwood from Centerpiece Labs, and we're glad he's here. The companies represent the top candidates from our screening process, where we're looking at probably 15 or 20 companies for every company that gets up here in front of us fortnightly on our pitch day. So congratulations, guys, for making it through the process, and for going through that to be here today. For those new to our program, Startup NV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit startup accelerator and incubator. We operate 7 entrepreneurship programs supported by government grants and corporate sponsors. We get additional financial support in the form of donated equity from successful accelerator companies who get funded by one of our funding programs. And we also get profit sharing from our 4 affiliated investment funds and syndicate. Our fortnightly pitch day offers companies the opportunity to join our accelerator program with investment from Fund NV, our investor syndicate, plus matching funds from Nevada's SSBCI program. Since 2021, we've directly invested $12 million in 25 companies, plus another $7 million of PIPE in a public company. So our investments, that $12 million that we've invested, is currently worth just over $44 million in assets under management. And they're just about a 4x what we call MOIC, managed multiple on invested capital. Partner co-investments from Nevada's SSBCI programs and others have amplified our impact significantly, adding more than $25 million to what we've invested and since 2021. So a little over $37 million we've invested. So a quick legal disclaimer: today's pitches are for investment from our legally compliant venture funds and syndicate, restricted to SEC accredited and Nevada certified investors. We welcome the community to attend with us here in the room and online for educational or entertainment purposes if you prefer. But the pitches are not a general solicitation. Pitches are for our properly legally compliant investment groups. Special thanks to our sponsors, the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, GoEd, the EDA and the USDA, and to Brian and Woven for hosting us once again here at this awesome facility. So with additional announcements tonight, we've got a startup week starting in the middle of September. So keep an eye on that. There's lots of events around town during about 3 or 4 days during the middle of September. So keep an eye on our LinkedIn channel for announcements about what events are taking place when. It's a pretty awesome 3 or 4 days worth of startup extravaganza geekiness. So come out and join us if you can. All right, so wrapping up now. Dan, are you ready to go?
I am ready, Jeff. My name is Dan Steele. I'm the founder and CEO of Listening Post. We've built multiplayer AI for the business logic layer of any company. And what does that mean? I guess the best way to describe what we built, I'll quote the CTO and founder of HubSpot. He said using AI is like hiring an intern that has an MBA in everything, but knows nothing about you or your business. So we've built the pipes that go between AI and your business so that it knows about your business. The multiplayer part is AI has been just a single thing that companies have tacked on top of their operations. So we've built it so that 1, users can use the same chat threads, and 2, managers can see how their employees are using AI. So the problem is we've talked to 100 companies and AI is just moving so fast. Most people know that they need to include AI in their business and they don't know where to start. And again, it's been a very lonely thing. So you can't track or know how your employees are using AI. So Listening Post deploys multiplayer AI in the business logic layer of a company with 0 technical complexity. Teams are able to collaborate and share AI sessions where manager agents route tasks to optimal resources based on organizational context. The agents understand business logic and organizational workflows, enabling intelligent collaboration with sophisticated threading and context awareness. Our team, I'm Dan Steele. I've had 3 exits. The largest exit has been Influential, which was acquired by Publicis last year for $500 million. Seth Steele, who is 4 years younger than me, lives around the corner from me, but he's not my brother. We just happened to meet through this project, and he's a 20-year full stack engineer. Michael DeAtter was one of my first mentors in tech, pushed me down this path. He was the first investor in the company, has the best Rolodex of anybody I've ever met. And Luis Martinez, who's there in Las Vegas, he's a 20-year sales leader, has a ton of experience, and is helping us kick off our sales initiatives. As far as investors and advisors, Ryan Anderson, which I'll hop into what we did influential with him at IBM on a later slide. Peter Tomasic, you guys might have heard of him. Mike Flynn, a great guy from the UK that I met while I was working there. Mark DeAtter is an executive at Chipotle, known him for over a decade. Haley Zapowski, she's the champion for tech in Nashville, very much like what Jeff and Maggie are doing there. And then Sean Jordan, he's one of our customers, and he also invested in the platform. With a little over 50K spent, I actually need to update this slide. We paid for SOC 2 and some patents, so we're probably closer to 75K spent. We've signed 1.2 million or 1.4 million now in design partner term sheets, and we have a really big pipeline. Farmers Insurance in Nevada we're closing that in the next couple of weeks. Strider Press invested in us, and they're a big client of ours, and we have a number of clients that we're working with. So going back to Ryan Anderson, who was on our advisor slide, at Influential, when we raised our seed round, we put out an article in VentureBeat, and IBM reached out to us. With IBM, we were able to build a product using Watson AI, and this is 10 years ago, before AI was really a big deal. And we built a great product with them, and the project went so well that the CEO of IBM and the COO of Kia did a podcast about us. When I called Ryan to talk about Listing Post, he said, let's run the playbook again. And Ryan's now the CTO of the relationship between Palo Alto Networks and IBM. So we're building IBM and Palo Alto Networks into our product, hoping that we can get the tailwinds of promotion from IBM and Palo Alto Networks. So our product teams are able to collaborate. So imagine Jeff and I are working on a project. We can hop on a Zoom call. I can start a new thread, send it to Jeff, and we're able to prompt and modify the prompts in real time with AI. Our AI manager, we have a manager agent. So I send a prompt out. The manager agent looks at it, queries the relevant data like HubSpot, Shopify, Salesforce, whatever. It brings the data in, and then it breaks it into tasks. And the tasks could be, let's say, math, deep research, and writing. So it'll send the math to, let's say, Google's Math LLM, probably the best one right now for math, the deep research to OpenAI, and then the writing over to Claude. It's all based on benchmarks, but those are the current best benchmarks best. And so it routes the optimal LLM. Then the LLMs do their little bit of research. Then it brings it back. It unifies and verifies the outputs, and then it delivers actionable strategy and solution. Tam Sam Sum. If these are just AI numbers, if you guys don't understand how big the market is, it's pretty big. Did a lot of research, got to these numbers. Competition. So Salesforce is probably working on the closest thing to us, but they don't have a no or low code integration, and none of our competitors have multiplayer interface. N8N and other startups have some optimal LLM routing. We have the unified data access. We're designed for the business logic layer, much like Salesforce. Great data security, custom workflows, seamless platform integration. So our go-to-market, we've been building since April. We've signed some design partners. Starting in August, we'll be launching those design partners, building custom integrations, troubleshooting bugs, and iterating on the product. We're also beginning our SOC 2 and ISO audits. 11/25 closed beta. So our first revenue comes in on November 1st. We'll be running at about 30K a month. We're going to add more customers. And then in April of next year, we'll have passed the compliance audits and be able to sell to enterprise. So our ask is $2 million from strategic capital partners. Just starting to have conversations. We're pretty early in those. And I am 3 minutes early, but that's what I got.
Great. Thank you so much, Dan.
So thanks to Dan and Mike for coming out today. Really appreciate it. So thanks for coming out and joining us today. A couple of quick reminders as we wrap up. Investors, if you like those stats that I was reciting at the top of the broadcast here about turning $12 million into $44 million. And one thing I didn't mention is that we have now returned just under $5 million of that original $12 million that we've invested back to our investors. So if you want to be part of that action, again, jump on startupnv.org, say, I'm an investor, or I want to be an investor. And you'll look at all the options that we have, probably end up talking to me at some point about our 1864 fund, our fund, pre-seed fund NV, our Angel NV fund, where we do teaching funds at the start of every year, or the Sierra Angels, our traditional angel that we run and support. So just jump on startupnv.org and you can learn more about all that stuff. And thanks again to Mike and Dan for coming out today, for everybody who attended, for everybody who asked questions, but thanks to everybody for participating. To our investor group who's going to watch this later, and the Startup NV team who makes this possible every fortnight. So join us again a fortnight from tonight now, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks. And we'll look at 2 additional Nevada startups to see what they've got going on. Until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. We'll see you in 2 weeks.